Hi. It's really, really rainy today, and I don't know why, but I think that reminded me a little bit of this topic today, which is dissociation and depersonalization. I guess because, like, when it's all rainy and you're not used to that, you kind of have a different day going on. Like, I'm stuck inside, and it's kind of nice actually, but anyway, so dissociation is an altered state of consciousness or a disrupted state of consciousness. And typically, when we think of normal consciousness and psychological functioning, we're talking about things that are happening all day long. So, like we've got memory comes in and out, and emotion, sensory awareness, cause, effect, like all these things are happening. And so when that's disrupted, that's called dissociation. An example would be like daydreaming, or when you go on like autopilot, you drive somewhere and you really can't remember how you got there, kind of thing. And so we all experience this all the time, but when it's more of an issue is when it's actually, I'll give you more of a severe example. Would be like maybe there's a fragmented emotions going on, a loss of the sense of self, things like that. And that's usually a response to a traumatic event. Not always, but typically it's like some trauma happened, and it's a coping mechanism because the stress is just too overwhelming. So then the mind sort of checks out as a way to deal with that, and it's a surviving technique. So it's pretty common, like among people that go through a lot. Not always, but sometimes. And so, like, for me, I've had this go on forever, and I never really thought about it because it just seemed like normal to me, I guess. So, like, I was a really daydreamy little kid, and I was never paying attention in school, and I thought kids did that. I think they do, but I did it a lot. Um, and then sometimes I would look in the mirror and I couldn't recognize myself, and it was a little weird because I didn't even know who it was. It was really strange. Sometimes I'd have memories, and I couldn't remember if they were dreams or if they were real. And so I didn't really think of that as a big deal. It wasn't disrupting my life, and I think a lot of people have that kind of stuff. So I was like, oh, it's probably nothing. But I do notice a problem though when I'm trying to relax or do something that's like considered a mindfulness-based activity. So like yoga or meditation, that makes me really stressed out, and I think it's because it allows your mind to be open, and then emotions come in and thoughts come in, and like I usually just kind of check out during that. So like the last time for yoga, it was really scary because I was in this class, and then by the end of it I was so frustrated. Like every time he said relax and deep breathe, it was just making me angry, and I didn't even really know why, but I was not having it. And then at the end it was like I just kind of sort of checked out. It just felt like I was like lost control of my mind in a way because I had all these terrible thoughts, and things were just intense, and these feelings were so strong, and like I was sort of crying quietly to myself, and I got up tired, and people were trying to talk to me, and I was just really slow in responding to them, and everything looked foggy, everything looked really hazy and weird. And I've seen that before, like, sometimes walk around, I feel like I'm walking on a movie set or something. It just doesn't really look like real life. I feel like I'm sort of not part of real life. And then I get, I'm walking around some more, and I start to think I'm invisible. And it wasn't like I felt like I was invisible. I had the thought that I was invisible. And so I'm staring people down, like, do you see me or not? And it was really weird, and I got home and I sort of came out of it, and then it was so relieving, and I was like, whoa, what the fuck just happened? So my therapist was like, that's depersonalization, which is a part of dissociation at times. So, and basically, as you can imagine, I've been told not to do that kind of stuff for now. And that's sort of how treatment works for this kind of thing. It's all based on like what the therapist thinks is kind of best, because it depends on, this can happen for many, many reasons. Like it could be its own disorder. Sometimes it comes along with other things like OCD or anxiety or depression, and it's a symptom of that. So it just kind of depends what the underlying issue really is. Um, and so basically it's just, you kind of have to, I don't know, go with, it's up to you and your therapist basically. So I haven't done any yoga or meditation since then. I've been pretty good. Haven't had anything bad like that happen again. But it's funny because now looking back, I think of emergencies. I always thought I was really bad in emergencies, but because like something would happen, like a little fire, and I would just like stare and just like totally check out, and like I was frozen. I could not think of what to do. Like my mind was just blank, and that's always really hard because I thought I was just like dumb or not responding very well or just like not quick. But really, it was too overwhelming, and my psyche was like, nope, we're not having this. You're done. It was just what happened. So I think that's an important thing though to think about, is that like we tend to blame ourselves a lot for what we think about, and if we have a disorder, it's like it can feel really shameful, and we do have a responsibility to deal with that. Um, but at the same time, like we have to remember that it's really not our fault, and things just kind of happen, and so it's a case of just being aware and recognizing it, and getting the treatment you need. So anyways, I just wanted to make this little video because I had no idea what this stuff was, so maybe if anyone else doesn't know, there's a name for it. And just take care and stay strong.